Welcome to Switch Topics episode 0.2. Our good pal, the bearded gamer, is out on assignment in an undisclosed location this week. So I have got a mystery fill-in partner this week, and we will see DT once again next week. So first off, let's take a look. We looked at what was coming out this week in the last episode. We're covering September 2019, but there were a couple surprises to slip into the Switch eShop, so I'm just going to take a quick look at those. Tell me what you think. So this one, we did talk highly of River City Girls, and speaking of beat 'em ups, something that I've recently covered in one of my other video series for High Score Girl gets an Arcade Archives release on the Switch. Vigilante, from the people who brought you Kung Fu Master, aka Kung Fu in North America, where you're saving Madonna from the Skinheads. So, you've seen this game.
Very nice. Yes, I have.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I've seen a lot, and I'm not going to credit High Score Girl. Yes, I am. Maybe a little bit with all of this, but I've seen things like Crazy Climber has gotten a port recently. Vigilante's gotten a port recently. There's a couple others. There's coincidence? Probably, but interesting nonetheless. I think that was it for the big surprises of last week, so we'll just get into the coming soon and see what we've got in.
Did you take a look at Blasphemous last week? That did not look familiar to me.
Okay, well, let's go back and check it out real quick. You know, it couldn't remember, so do we have a trailer? We have a trailer.
Rated M for mature.
I might remember this as being a side-scroller Castlevania type. The name is starting to sound familiar.
This is an example of the cover art not helping the game out any, because I wasn't interested in it, and now that we've clicked on it, it immediately looks better than what I thought I was getting into.
Cover art was a little bit too crowded.
The depth of character looks good in this 2D style. You know, it doesn't seem, it's not that flat look that you see a lot of times. It is a gory 2D game. That seems to be its what it's riding on here. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so
Cool.
well, this is an M-rated broadcast now, so that's that.
My fault.
Not at all. It is our job to evaluate these things. This, I can see this definitely having a target.
It seems like a very much a Castlevania Dark Souls sort of crossover, perhaps. Although I'm not quite sure what the difficulty curve for this game is compared to Dark Souls.
Let's mix those together and make it just way gorier than either.
Very good
Or
art
both.
style, though. I mean, with a lot of side scrollers, you see the background just kind of stands out too much. But I think there's a really good balance with the art.
Definitely can appreciate the work that went into the graphics.
Not much was said about Gun Pixies in your last episode. I think you sort of scrolled over that one. A bit of an odd one.
It was a bullet dodge kind of game, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Sort of reminded me of what was it, Mr. Mosquito on that PlayStation 2. What was the name of that game?
Yeah, that was Mr. Mosquito, where you're in the house and trying to suck blood from the residents. Is this the one where your girls are shrunk down inside of a house?
Yeah. Although there is a lot more bullet dodging than Mr. Mosquito.
Yeah. I don't think we watched the trailer for this. What a mistake on my behalf. This is absolutely something that I would typically take a look at.
It is,
Very Japanese fun.
what is it, Hyperdimension? This is sort of inspired by?
let's see a little compile heart. I feel like they do some similar games.
It's probably, if you're a fan of Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash, might be one to check out there.
Which I am. Alright, let's check out the coming week's titles. Throne Quest Deluxe.
Throne Quest, not trying to hide its pixel art style there.
At least they let you know right up front.
Might have some Zelda action going on. Also glass pots.
Oh, that's right. We were doing so well. Load times on the eShop videos not always great. I made this game.
So you made that big map?
I'm just saying this is what it would be like if I made a character running around a 3D map. He just sort of hops. He doesn't actually have motion. It turned into like Gauntlet Misery.
Very fast. That went from looking like Zelda to...
I love that you can play as a little cat. It's, you know, if you played it and committed to it, it probably wouldn't feel as complicated as it looks.
Okay, he got some tricks.
You have a health bar. I was wondering how he could just constantly be overrun.
Okay,
with
so
enemies.
all that stuff overlapping the enemies, I think, was actually helping him out there. So he had a bit more firepower.
It's like in-game Diablo. Played on your Nokia Engage phone. The Sinking City. This is already out on PlayStation 4.
I have not seen this in a while though.
And this, I'm interested in it because of the H.P. Lovecraft Cthulhu mythos that's going on in it. We're not gonna get a trailer for this one, unfortunately. I love that creepy cover though, and it looks really good. I'd like to see it in motion, but
that guy's had a long day there.
I feel like I wouldn't offer to shake the hand of a zombie. I feel like something, we're in the middle of a plot twist there. Interesting stuff. Again,
LA Noire meets Dead Space.
solid screenshots though. Would like to see it in motion, but graphically looks pretty good. Probably do myself a favor to look at the reviews on some of the systems it's already out on, just to see if the game itself is fun. But oppressive atmosphere and story inspired by H.P. Lovecraft is very Lovecraft. I mean, that is exactly what it's about. From the 20s.
One where you gotta manage your mental health.
Yeah. So it has some potential, especially for Lovecraft fans.
I would definitely expect multiple endings from that.
And none of them are good. Sydney Hunter and the Curse of the Mayan gives us a trailer while Sinking City didn't.
Full name? Oh, okay. Not at all what I expected.
Me either. This feels sort of like late 80s arcade. The soundtrack is giving me some Messenger feels though.
This game would have kicked it on the NES.
I'm not willing to like commit to saying that it is in the league of the Messenger for soundtracks. Messenger's soundtrack is amazing, but you know, it gives you that similar vibe. Like they were going for the similar thing. Multiple endings. 2. You know, honestly, I kind of like it. I complain about this all the time. There's so many games that look just like this. This is what indie developers do now, is they make 2D side scrollers. So I get sort of numb to them, but really is decent. You know, it looked good.
That's the real Mega Man boss right there. Look at that screenshot. You see, I was misled by the cover art there because I thought it was a backwards baseball cap.
Ah, not an Indiana Jones kind of thing. All right. Love letter to the classics, aren't they all? Battle Supremacy Evolution. A game about flying. Oh, and tanks. And the Batwing.
Well, as they go, I'm pretty impressed by the visuals on this one.
Kind of gives me some Halo feels.
I was about to say the same thing. It felt like we were back on Reach for a moment.
Yeah.
Star Fox Zero had a bit of the mixing up between air flight and tank battles, I think.
I don't have much to say about this. This one, oh, it's $10. So maybe you're always in the same vehicle. Sci-fi morphing vehicle combat.
Okay.
So maybe you can switch on the fly.
Definitely one for the Star Fox fans out there.
The gameplay is so immersive and engaging that destroying a target can feel like winning the battle, but it's really just the beginning. 10th line special edition. What a motley crew. Oh, look, a 2D side-scrolling indie game. Ah, with card battle elements.
Okay, never been one for much of the card battle type games. Never chosen one to get into. Then we got a bit of the...
What is? I don't know if I'm looking at a skill tree or a puzzle. I think a skill tree.
The puzzle and the skill tree.
Oh, this poor dragon. Will live forever. Unless we can save him with the power of card battle. It's just, this is a game that would benefit from a trailer to maybe make a little more sense of what we're looking at, but it doesn't look bad. Could be very innovative. Turn-based RPG battles with timing element.
I think a lot of care was actually put into sort of the character design for this one.
Yeah, a lot of variety. Look, and I like this. It's debatable. Some people don't. Includes an optional story-focused mode that removes most enemy encounters, simplifies platforming to allow player to quickly experience the entire story. That's cool to me because there's so many. Like, I buy more games than I can ever play most of the time, and sometimes I'm like, man, I really just wish I could just kind of see the story.
I hate to go way off topic, but I guess switching topics is the name of the series here. Hideo Kojima, I think, just put out a statement: Death Stranding will have a story-focused gameplay mode.
I believe I heard that, and that's exciting news because it had elements of being very challenging and strange in the...
I think he said in an interview not much before that, he said he doesn't quite know what the game is shaping up to be himself. He's really trying to invent a new genre in itself.
I think I trust him. I'm not entirely sure. Super Dodgeball
Beats.
It's Rhythm Dodgeball, right? It's gotta be.
Very nice cover art here. And the gameplay art matches.
It's interesting, that's for sure.
Okay. All the stages happen to have a grid on the bottom of the screen. I'm not really sure how that comes into play. But it looks like the characters don't really change positions.
The craziest dodgeball ever. Original music tracks. Couch co-op.
Gotta love some couch co-op.
I imagine it's got on play. Interesting. What is this? This was how much? This $12.99.
Fair price. Could benefit from a trailer. It might be one to look up.
They almost always could. It always makes me think they're not confident about their game when they don't put a trailer with it. That's not always true, but
Oh, here we have one.
is this Ritual? Is that the name of this one?
Ritual. Oh.
Let's give that one more try.
Got me.
No. All right. Well,
Let's see what we can gather here.
this looks I get,
Simple at first, but could just as well turn into that first game we were looking at.
there's these
No?
numbers on the screen that don't hardly make sense to me.
It almost looked like a two-player battle mode for one of those screenshots there.
Well, it's colorful with a decent art style.
Yeah, very pretty. Let's read the description a bit, I guess.
Whip your sorcerer with spells, monsters, spellcasting RPG.
You are a sorcerer angel. They tried to sacrifice you and failed. Hunt them down, kill their foul god, and purge the world.
Slay thousands of things. One player. Alright.
Cute and intense.
Oh, and here's this thing that we've been talking about for a year. And by we, I mean not me, but everyone else.
Finally available for pre-purchase, it is Demon Ex Machina.
I'm still trying to call it Damon, but it is Demon. Well, no trailer, which is such a surprise based on how very proud they are of this game. A lot of people like it. I think it's been fairly positive. I think there was a beta or some kind of demo that got released a while
Demo has
back.
been available for quite some time. I checked it out for a minute, and I think they just released add-on to the demo. Sort of like some prologue chapters for the full game, I think.
So my thought, my uneducated thought, is that if you enjoyed any mech anime or maybe Zone of the Enders, then this is for you. It definitely has potential. I mean, it's personally, I don't love the art style. I feel like it's got that Dragon Ball Z fight stuff going on where they're always fighting out in the most plainest not desert, but like canyon kind of background, and that's fine for Dragon Ball, but for this it's just like you've got all the detail in these characters, and then the maps always look so plain.
I think that helps to create a contrast in a way. If you got these gigantic robots and the background's all convoluted looking, it'd be kind of hard to see your targets.
I can definitely say that whether it's for me or not, the character models look very good.
Very good.
All the enemies and mechs, etc.
I hope this game would do well enough to spawn a nice figure series.
Oh, I could see, for people that enjoy the game, definitely some potential for figures there. You can team up with 2 other people for co-op mode, online co-op mode.
Okay, the Armored Core series. Got a bit of
Oh,
help from
okay.
the creator there.
And the demo is still available.
Now, what studio was developing this again?
Let's see. This is
Marvelous. Okay.
Marvelous Inc., who couldn't tell you another game that they've done, but I'm sure there are some. Rest in pieces.
Can't quite tell what to think from that picture there.
This,
Definitely looking at a horror game. Creepy cloud. Oh, well, sure enough, Marvelous is Senran Kagura. You
well,
gotta show some respect there now, don't you?
absolutely. They have done masterpieces.
Oh, and Rune Factory. Very
Senran
different game.
responsible for masterpieces. As every Senran Kagura is a 10 of 10. What?
Oh. Okay. You are this glass doll.
So you're this Christmas ornament, and it's best to not get hit with things. Oh, this is ripping off Thumper.
Oh, there.
This game where you play this little beetle that goes down a roller coaster kind of thing. Originally it was on PlayStation VR, and you know, at the end you would like build up charges and shoot them at the boss that you were always kind of headed towards at the end.
I never got that into Thumper, I guess.
Rip off might be a negative term to use, but inspired by, similar for sure. And so it doesn't even matter that you're playing the it's not about the character that you play as so much as it is the experience. Swing porcelain figurines through the horrid world of nightmares without breaking. Actually, on it's $5, looks, I think it's weird, but actually maybe of the new releases we've looked at this week so far, maybe the most interesting and something I would actually play for a little while. Yeah, I kind of like it.
Very unique in its concept. I'd be curious if this type of game, if it's as simple as what we see on screen, sort of the swinging back and forth, if this had a release on mobile.
Oh, you could just swipe.
I could see that, yeah, you know.
Oh, and you unlock figures by progressing through the game. I could see having a little bit of a, you know, that's a nice catch to it.
Very good for the price. I imagine it would get very hard very quick.
Star Wars Pinball. It's okay that there's not a trailer for this. I think this is everything we need to see.
Very self-explanatory. Star Wars Pinball.
Pinball games are fun. This one is themed on Star Wars. The boards look pretty cool.
Several to choose from.
2 of them looked realistic, like to actual pinball machines, and now here we have one that is not as much. And
keep your eye on the ball. Oh, very simple here.
A little
very nice
mini game here where you can try to shoot the stormtroopers. I bet it's very well done. I feel like, who even makes this? Game Code Zen Studios. Do they do Zen Pinball? Probably, right? So probably very well done. Another week, another gory 2D Dark Souls, right?
Bit of the Borderlands art style. Only the best.
They are cramming it all into this somehow. Curious what we're gonna see. Is this a versus fighter? With a bunch of apocalypse mutants? Oh, that. How polite. What a weird game.
Gotta get these cinematics out of the way first. Hopefully we'll have some gameplay in a moment.
I feel like we're watching some hybrid of the gameplay as it is. Are there 3 characters?
Oh, well, they keep dying. How do you really know who's in the game?
4 characters, okay. Only full one being the bottom of this. Okay, that was that, and I still don't really know what it's about. All right. Oh, and look at this. They've totally fooled you because it is like a PlayStation 1. Oh, Tunnel B1 or something like that. This old PlayStation 1 arena game where you could see everything on the screen at once. A little deceptive on their part with that.
Whether or not
trailer.
This one's worth a try is really going to come down to the price for me.
I'm not like super anti-gore, but I don't know that I'm gore purely for the gore of it. $5. Yeah. I mean, at least it's only $5. We still got more to go this week. Atomic Heist. There's bank shots off the walls. I wonder how hard. I wonder if you control this with the L and R triggers to turn.
What's the name of this game?
Oh no, I've already forgotten.
I may have just seen a headline about it. Bit of a twin stick shooter, isn't it?
Probably. Doesn't look bad. I'm actually. Oh, and $3.99. Yeah, it definitely gets a pass. Distrained Deluxe Edition.
Visual novel? That's what the art style tells me.
Well, let's see if you're right. This is like Claire, maybe, or I don't know. There were a few games to come out. They're probably on Switch now as well because so many good indie games have. It's not a visual novel, but borderline. Like, you know, walk around and collect the story and
It's like
survive through things.
It's probably like a point and click without the point and click. One of those side scrollers where you're just gonna need to find items to solve puzzles.
Right. Which I typically enjoy those kind of games. Maniac Mansion being one of my favorites ever. So.
Well, I think the art style is a lot better than what I was led to believe. It's very unique.
It is unique. These
very
potato
dark.
head people. And then here comes
This bloody elephant.
ugh.
Definitely an M-rated video.
Yeah, it headed in a very scary direction. Oh, there's the elephant. Interesting. What a 2D psychological horror that tells the story of Price, a young man who seizes an old woman's apartment. His humanity is now gone, so begins his tale of regrets. Interesting. Very interesting, and is not a lot of expensive games so far. Let's look at a game that may look exactly like the game we just looked at.
Ellen by Jandusoft.
Rated T for teen.
Only rated T though.
So, not the same art style, of
This
course.
must have came out on PlayStation.
Oh, this looks. If I can be honest. Oh, I don't know. Now I'm just looking at it and deciding that it may be really cool and creepy and interesting. But I just am not a fan of these skinny pixel art style characters.
There are a lot of things to have that art style. The monsters have a good contrast to them though.
Oh, it's like which one do you get between this and the last one we just very different games.
Couple good things here for horror fans.
Yeah, and at $8 you can pick them both up for less than 20. And
A bit over the story here. Help young investigator James uncover the dark truth behind the murder of the Smiths and their missing daughter Ellen in this thrilling 2D pixel horror game. If you don't believe in paranormal events, meet the people from White Hill.
you know, they both have really interesting stories. I don't know which one I would pick. Actually kind of interested in both of them. Now,
Here's definitely visual novel.
I love it when they tell me it's a visual novel
It is.
up front and don't fool me.
Okay. Very different art style for a visual novel. Like,
This is so what's like this is the opposite of
okay, we play as Aurora, and these men want our attention.
yeah. the husband simulator or whatever, right? I can't think of what else you would call it. All
Because
right,
there's 5 guys. I got you.
gotcha. Five guys,
1, 2, 3.
yet 0 hamburgers. $30. Oh my gosh.
And over 2. Future of your people. Acting like it's high stakes.
All right, so I mean, you know,
Fully voiced. Gotta give it that though.
yeah, let's give it credit where it's due. 25 endings, fully voiced narrative.
Ray Chase, I know that name.
So probably a really good voice cast from. I mean, if they're willing to name them here, 6 potential love interests.
25 possible endings.
Yeah. So hey, if this is your thing, then
Of all the visual novels I've seen, this one does stand out a bit. May very well be worth the $30 if you're
yeah.
a fan of the genre. Looking for some new guys to talk to. AI, the Insomnium Files, a very cool looking game.
Yeah. Okay.
Trailers for this came out a while back, I think.
Everything's rated M this week. Ah, Spike Chunsoft. The same
There it
people
goes.
who fooled me on 428 Tsukima Switch or whatever. What's the
428 Shibuya Scramble.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one?
Yeah, that's the one that I didn't. Oh, let's stop the trailer. That it looked more Maniac Mansion than visual novel, and I got fooled. It was total visual novel. This looks like they made Until Dawn into a anime, which is fine because
Where you going? But we aren't done investigating.
How did you get in? Got it. I'll head over. What is this place?
I is another. Why are you?
In other news.
And you?
So? That doesn't prove anything.
The left eye socket is vacant. Of course not. Seeing that curtain made me think about it.
The usual. Are you finished?
Do you understand the gravity of this situation?
one of those trailers that doesn't give you a lot to work with, but I like it.
The right to remain silent? You're treating me like a criminal.
All right.
Is this the same artist that got Fire Emblem Fates? That is definitely the same artist.
It reminds me of, and I don't know who, actually don't know who does them, and if I can find it quick enough, I might be able to tell you, but I can't. The Danganronpa games. I don't know who does those.
Sort of the theme of it, you mean?
I just like the art kind of reminded me of that a bit,
Okay, that
maybe not.
that box art there, I think, is definitely the Fire Emblem Fates artist.
What was the price on this one? This is, I mean, it's Spike, so fair enough.
Available for
This-
pre-purchase. Coming out
So-
17th. I might be checking this one out.
Yep. Here we go. Lego Jurassic. I'm surprised this hasn't already come to the Switch. Is really my only negative I can say about that. Is why? What took you so long? It's a no-brainer.
Everybody's still getting used to the Switch.
The Lego games need to be on the Nintendo systems, and this looks like a really fun one. No trailer. I'm gonna trust it that it'll have a decent frame rate and be a fun game, though.
I think we might be playing as the dinosaurs in this one. That completely raises the bar.
Jet Cave Adventure.
Now this one is heavily inspired by Donkey Kong Country, I think I read.
Even something in the name of it sort of makes me think you're right.
Tropical Freeze, here it comes. Oh no, spaceship.
They did not want to risk it with any kind of issues with Nintendo, so they made him a caveman. Yet he still kind of moves around like he's Donkey Kong. I don't know if you noticed the way he moves. Like he'll do his, fist on the ground kind of thing at times when he's going fast.
This looks really good.
Well done. Well, it's a big game.
We're seeing a lot of level variety.
$17.99.
Can't be beat for a game of that type.
Yeah, if you love Donkey Kong Country and love side scrollers, maybe give it a shot. Castle Crashers has been around forever.
And who knows when the next Donkey Kong Country will even come out.
Fair enough. All we've gotten so far is a re-release of Tropical Freeze. Castle Crashers is great. So if you've never played it, somebody thinks it's the best game ever made. It really is a great, awesome game to play with your friends. It's from the people who did Alien Hominid. You level up your character. I think you can I don't know if it's all just get better with levels, or if you actually get to make some decisions based on levels. I've played this, now to be fair, this game, yeah, you get to decide how much better you are. I think this game originally came out on the 360, so it's been out for a while. But if you're a Nintendo fan or you've never had a chance to play it, I would probably only recommend it if you're going to play it with somebody. But if you like couch co-op, or I think you can probably play this online. If you like good co-op games, this is a great one.
More than 25 characters. Would not have guessed it.
Yeah, and they all have different things they do. Some of them are much harder to unlock. Yeah, it's just a great game. A lot of fun. $15, easy. Easy decision there. And our last game, we've saved the best for last. Real Fishing Road Trip Adventure. I'm gonna look at this first this time. Who makes this? Natsumi. This is probably gonna be really good. Natsumi is typically very good at making fishing games.
I can't remember if it was this specific fishing game, but I read a headline just this morning about company having to apologize for running out of copies in Japan.
I'm not surprised at all.
I would expect it to be this.
It's such a weird
Given who makes it.
contrast between the anime characters and the
You go from persona,
photorealistic fish.
persona to fish.
I want to see the fish in motion to see if it actually moves. But yeah, I bet it's an awesome fishing game. $29.99. If you're looking for the best fishing game on the Switch, you probably can't go wrong with this one. So there we go. There is what's coming. A quick look. We're gonna try to find my Dollar Game Club game of the week. Nominees are Defunct at 74 cents. Which actually has a trailer, but we're not doing trailers for 74 cents. Here's a robot. He goes through places on his one wheel. Is it a racing game? Have I talked myself into indie adventure game with flow, speed, and an engaging world? Looks pretty cool. Oh, 95% off at 74 cents. Oh, what a deal.
Get it while it lasts. This one looks like a lot of care was put into it.
I think Castle of Heart was on the list last week, but we'll browse through it real quick again. Oh yeah, because it's got a sort of a misleading cover. I thought it was gonna be not a side scroller, but it is. But graphically, still looks really good. Um, yeah, really good. 90% off at $1.49. Great deal there. I don't think this one's gonna win, but Quest for the Golden Duck,
Up to 4 players. There's potential there.
39 cents. Normally 9.99. So they think. Here's the thing with dollar games, right? The more percentage off, the better. You want to look. If you're trying to maximize your value, if somebody believes in something enough to make it $10 or more, and now it's $1, then you're probably getting a game that it was at least worked on. You know, this looks like a good co-op game actually. Escape the dungeon, sneak inside the castle. Yeah, find the duck. This actually for 40 cents. You need something fun to do with your friends. You're bored of all your other things. Your friends don't play Smash Brothers for some weird reason. Here's a game you can play with your friends.
If we ever took a break from Smash Bros, I could see us checking this one out. Some Pac-Man coin collecting going on.
Yeah, it actually looked pretty cool. So I'm glad I clicked it. This way you got to look at the percentage off. $10. If it's $10, that's Daniel's dollar game club rule. If it's $10 or more, and now it's $1 or even less than $2, it's worth looking at.
Can we give an honorable mention here to Timberman, normally priced at $2, now priced at 19 cents.
That's it. It's one of those, like, if you play it, think about, and I know a lot of our, maybe not everyone is as old as me. Maybe you didn't grow up in the arcades, right? But in my day, we would pay 25 cents to play a game for what might have equated to 3 minutes. Right? If the game was hard or you were learning the game.
If you've got 19 cents, you own this game for life.
Right. Yeah, you can play all you want for 19 cents.
And every character has the face of Steve from Minecraft.
Even Santa Claus. Look, this is that mini game from Mario Party. Oh, okay. The whole thing is just pressing a button to chop things down. Sailor Moon's in the game. So, yeah, 19 cents. Shut-eye. See, and I would normally skip this one because it's $4, now 39 cents. Nah, I mean, that's not the awesome kind of deal we're looking for.
Child's mind is innocent yet troubling. Take control of a young girl as she spends the week without her parents in a place far away from home. Keep her calm, keep her safe, keep her in the light.
Ah, this might be one of those games where there's not. It just. Oh, what's this little
That's from
villain from Toy Story doing under the bed?
That is exactly what that is.
Like maybe there's actually not anything scary in the game, but it's more just about atmosphere.
Y'all, please don't touch anything. This is not $1. We will check it out some other time.
I don't even know if I want to click on Bad Dream Coma, but it meets the criteria to warrant a look.
Now this is totally point and click.
It's creepy enough. So, just that cover. I guess that's the point, but
I'll show you the worst thing first.
we're not doing nothing for 19 cents off $2 because you can just get it anytime for $2. This one, you can't see the price on it because and here's another lesson to you about the Dollar Game Club. Like once they establish that they'll put it on sale for less than $2, it's coming again. So if you miss it, just keep an eye on it. Give it a month. Give it 2 months. Sometimes it's coming back. This one I got for $1 not terribly long ago. I think it's normally like 10 or 15, and it just looked like a really creepy atmosphere horror game that was worth a look. So, and I think it was decently reviewed as well. Like a lot of content for what it is. Merchants of Caden.
What's the normal price here? $9.99.
Yeah. So
Is
this
it a card battle?
seems like a board game.
There's no board. Is it a like press the buttons in time? I really can't tell.
Trading game fused with RPG elements. So it's just like, I don't know, it's like a sim kind of game, I guess. You're just trying to figure out how to gain money. Alright, so this one's a little outside, but normally $25 and now it's $2.50. Warrants a look.
Real Politics with a K. New Power.
This is like, not like Civilization, but maybe in the neighborhood. Complicated kind of game. Strategy game. Yeah.
First, a little bit like the last thing we just saw.
Complicated game, it was my word for strategy game just now. Selma and the Wisp. I'm glad I came this far down because this looks interesting. Pretty cool looking game. Pretty creepy looking game. But
It's a real mix of assets here with some realistic mummies and low poly deer.
I'm checking out that one for $1 though. Tiny Hands Adventure. Oh, because he's a little raptor, right? Is that what I was seeing?
Well, Tyrannosaurus. Some 3D platforming for $1.
I like it.
Let's get it.
Yeah, might help him become the best goalkeeper. Cute one, rated E. Something you can play with the kids. Pet care for 37 cents. Looks awesome. Fly O'Clock for 19 cents. Goodness, so we got one more horror game. We'll check it out, and then I'm gonna. No, we're not. We're not gonna check it out. I was gone away. I went too far. All right, so
If you stick with the Dollar Game Club, right, you won't have to pay the full price of Mario Party on the Switch, right? You can just collectively own each of the mini games as its own full game.
fair enough. Like the Timberman gets that. There's Defunct covers your get to point A to point B quickly enough. This is still on sale, and this is probably still the best deal in the shop. Is Mario Rabbids Kingdom for $20, but Undertale on half. Well, no, 33. Still $10. Great for Undertale. What did I like? I actually liked Quest for the Golden Duck, and I felt like there was another really good one, but yeah. So oddly enough, I guess this week's Dollar Game Club winners go into Quest for the Golden Duck. Alright, let's just check out the news real quick and wrap this up. So, Curve Digital reveals Knight's Quest. New Zelda-like adventure coming to Switch. They have screens of this?
They do, and they have a trailer as well. I watched it a few minutes ago, and it is very good looking.
Oh yeah, this looks better than expected. Curve's got a decent reputation.
I think all that really caught my eye was that bit of Sonic Adventure 2 riding on a rail.
A little more platforming than your standard Zelda game.
It's a classic story. You're a bit of the anti-hero. Bit of a coward. He's got to find the... I think they're going to say it in a second. Rusty must discover the night within.
Oh my gosh, okay. This is like Ratchet and Clank mixed with Zelda. A little bit of Mario, I guess. A little bit of Knack. I like it. Did I just reveal new news? Yeah.
I think you did.
Square Enix brings Star Ocean First Departure R to Switch this December.
Great time to get into the Star Ocean series.
Fire Emblem Three Houses replaces, was it Byleth?
That's Byleth.
Byleth's male voice actor. This is old news if you followed it, but the original voice actor,
That was just a bit of controversy.
right? It wasn't, I don't think it was terrible, but it was enough to want to disassociate him from what was going on. If you live in the UK or Japan, you need to get Bayonetta 1 while you can on the Switch eShop. I wonder why.
From the Wii U eShop.
Oh, the Wii U eShop. Well, then
Yes.
you're not long for it in North America too, if that's the case. Go ahead and get it on the Switch. Probably runs better.
Well, clock's ticking. If you still got your Wii U, haven't upgraded to the Switch, go ahead and get that Bayonetta.
Yeah, at least go ahead and get your downloads in order. And
Shop's going down, I guess.
yeah, it's just a matter of time at this point.
And I know you and DT were talking about 2K20. I checked out some screenshots, some graphics comparisons, and I gotta say it's not that bad on Switch. And they say it maintains a solid 30 FPS.
I think what I didn't convey last week was, if you have a Switch, then there's no reason not to get NBA 2K. But if you have a Switch and a PS4, then you probably, you got to weigh your options. Do you really want to, do you want to be able to play it portably? Do you want to be able to, lay in bed and play 2K on? Then get it on Switch. There's games like Skyrim that I own them on both systems. There's games that have come out, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'd rather have that on Switch. But sometimes, this is probably going to look a little better on a PS4 if you have it. But it's great to know that this got a 9 out of 10. With the only major con, like, we knew, if you're a 2K player, the story mode isn't going to be good. So that's not really a con. That's just part of the game.
There's some occasional screen tearing and pop-ins, but nothing that really affects the gameplay.
So loading times is really your only major issue.
I hear that they are planning to patch in some more things for the story mode later on. Now, we looked at the cons. Let's look at the joys.
I was impressed to see that they've added the WNBA to the game. So there's, the whole women's league is in the game now.
A very strong debut. They've got, completely unique animations for them. They didn't just reskin the male actors they had in the game already.
Looks like they've got the playground-ish mode from previous years is in the Switch, because this is really, if you look online at people playing 2K, they're not playing 5-on-5 simulated in a stadium. They're playing the 3-on-3 at the street court kind of thing. That's what people like to do. So
okay, I think that's what I heard, is they're planning to add a lot more to sort of the playground of the game.
So yeah, the screens look fine. Probably 9 out of 10. That's great news. If we could only get Madden over here, which is a different story entirely, but still.
Bit of random news. A Switch owner asked Nintendo support to draw their favorite animals, and apparently it worked.
Okay.
And I'd hate to see all the weird requests they're going to get in next.
Yep, they've opened the door.
Drinking glass air. I saw this headline. I'm very skeptical of it. But apparently the idea is that it can connect to your console and just stream to a mobile device plugged into the VR headset.
Okay, because in my mind I'm like, well, how are they gonna get that Switch on your head without weighing you down too much?
And you just use like a phone headset instead.
Let's check out this final score on Risk of Rain 2, which, I don't know if you saw that in last week. If you've seen Risk of Rain 1 and then you see Risk of Rain 2, you don't even feel like you're looking at the same game. Risk of Rain 1 is a really basic side-scrolling 16-bit looking game, and now part 2 is like fully 3D with big-time graphics. Gets an 8 out of 10. So that's pretty cool.
Looking at the joys and the cons here on Nintendo Life, it's my first time ever seeing that they label them that way, and that's really clever.
Me too, actually. It only just clicked with me the second time you've mentioned it here. Yeah, so online multiplayer works well, a lot of diversity. Aim controls are not great with the standard Joy-Con. But hey, dock this thing and play it with a Pro controller. Navigation in the early game can be a pain, and that is the case for so many shooter type games anyway. So
Menu UI isn't quite optimized for Switch. Who knows if this is something they'd patch later on, but I think it's probably a solid game.
I know that Nintendo is working to block some Switch piracy sites and getting some success with it, so that may be what that article is about.
Nintendo of Europe unveils new Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Tournament portal.
Oh, that's cool. Maybe that'll come, if it's not already in the US, maybe that'll come, because that'll be a nice way to kind of practice without having to actually go out and find a tournament. Oh, you can update your Joy-Con and Pro controllers. Or maybe that did it automatically when I turned on my Switch today.
I don't know all the details of this. Oh, there it is. The hidden LED light on your Nintendo Switch controller finally has a use. It's for some type of alarms that you can set within the system.
Interesting. I didn't even know that thing existed. So
I've only ever seen it light up, I think, with an update.
Ubisoft eShop sale. Ubisoft eShop sale. That was trickier than I thought to say.
We got Mario and Rabbids, Assassin's Creed, Rayman Legends, and more.
So that's ending soon.
Oh, Level 5 Snack World finally being rated by the ESRB. This is one I've been waiting for. I was a huge fan of Fantasy Life. A lot of other stuff on Level 5.
So is this a Fantasy Life kind of game?
It's an RPG. It's very much its own thing as they go, but from the makers of it, I gotta respect it.
Oh, it's a Rune Factory 4.
Marvelous.
Oh no, there's new stuff to Celeste. So now I can't say I beat it anymore. 100 new levels to climb. That's gonna be hard to get back in the rhythm of, because it's such a difficult game. You gotta be in the right mindset for it. Yep, new Switch update today. Mario Kart Tour is, I guess, coming soon, so we're seeing more about that. So the Dreamcast has an anniversary coming up. Oh my gosh, it was yesterday. We record this on the 10th. 9/9/99 is the day the Dreamcast came out.
Very nice.
So 20 years ago is the release of what I go back and forth on. What is my favorite system ever? And I kind of fluctuate with Sega CD, the Dreamcast, and the Nintendo Switch, actually, because the Switch just does so many cool things. So yeah, there's this weird fitness ring that looks like a giant steering wheel that they're talking about.
Fun concept.
What did they think of Blasphemous?
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10, wow. Only negatives being the map, and it's somehow a little unclear as to how you proceed, a la every game like that, Castlevania included, as great as they are. I do agree that the pixel artwork is really good.
That was the one thing I took away from the trailer, especially. Now let's ask, what are some Dreamcast games you would like to see?
Oh my god. So it's unlikely.
I think the top pick has got to be Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, Jet Set Radio is the easy pick. There's so many good ones, though. Now, you know what the top pick is? So, when you say what Dreamcast games would I like to see, do they have to be made by Sega? Right? And if you say, well, not necessarily, then Power Stone is the top thing that I would love to say.
Power Stone, because I was about to say Power Stone.
Power Stone 1 and 2 as a collection, it is a mystery why Capcom has. There must be something weird, like with I don't know, maybe there's some assets or something like that
some issue
that's
with
tied up with something, some
yeah.
legal something. Because why have you not released Power Stone or ever made a Power Stone 3?
I mean, even a Power Stone HD with like better settings, because it's just.
Cannon Spike was another interesting one from Capcom. Obviously it'll never happen, but Illbleed needs to come back.
Oh, Illbleed. I've been playing Illbleed.
It's Shenmue.
How dare you beat me to saying that?
Shenmue 1 and 2.
Shenmue 1 and 2 would be great. I don't think odds are good that Yakuza could ever come to Switch. I think that it's going to remain pretty PlayStation 4 exclusive, but the Shenmue would be a nice
Right.
port.
You know, and some of the stuff I like is just too obscure to ever even think would have a chance. Oh, okay. So Sonic Adventure 1 and 2.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, that would be an easy one.
There were rumors about a remaster, but I think that was all just kind of brought on by like an anniversary. And one of the developers said he was curious how the game would turn out if they made it again today. Which that, as much as I'd love to have a Sonic Adventure remake, I don't know.
Skies of Arcadia.
I forgot that was a Dreamcast
Yeah,
game.
it was originally Dreamcast.
I was thinking it was GameCube or something.
Later ported to GameCube.
Okay.
But it was on Dreamcast.
Now the amount of GameCube games we need ported to Switch is a whole nother conversation.
That's a 2-hour conversation. And I'll stop there, but believe me, I could keep going with
Let's just get
Dreamcast
everything
games.
on Switch. Let's just get everything on all these modern consoles.
Why not, right? If it'll run it, then measures need to be taken to get some of the things out there. I'm not saying everything, but a lot more things than what we're currently seeing.
Okay, so Astral Chain has lost its #1 spot as NBA and Spyro take charge.
I can't believe Spyro knocked it off. That's interesting.
I think Astral Chain didn't get enough attention in the last episode. It got very high reviews, and then it was like also bombed on like Metacritic or whatever, and they had to correct it. I don't know, but it's very highly reviewed by all official sites.
I don't know if I want Pokemon to have an autosave function. There's sometimes I like to oh, I don't, because you know, sometimes you get to a boss and you're like, I'm catching this guy. Like, and I'm not the only weirdo that did this, but like, I'm catching this guy with a regular Pokeball. I don't care if I have to throw him 50 times, right?
I don't see how that's gonna stop you. You'd still be able to save like on demand before the fight, I think.
Maybe, I don't know, but you know, weird things happen. Like maybe one runs away.
And
or...
autosave should never override hard save.
Oh, true. Like on
Breath of the Wild, or
right? How
Path
you've always got
Traveler.
that. Here's that last thing. If you just want to correct your most recent mistake, gotcha. That would be fun. Crystal Chronicles is an awesome co-op game, coming in January 2020. Hyperforma looks a little like Rez in that one shot there, but it says it's like Breakout. It's interesting. Grid has potential to be a really good racer.
I've never been very good at Breakout. I can't imagine making it harder.
I've never played my friend Pedro.
It was mentioned in the last episode.
Yeah,
Devolver
Mr. Bearded
Digital.
Gamer says it's really good. Vampire coming to Switch later on.
They're also taking a look at that Jet Cave that Donkey Kong inspired.
Ah, is there a review for it?
No, just a gallery.
Yeah.
Was that game not out yet? Was it
No, it's
pre-purchase?
It's coming out in a few days as
Coming
of
out
this
soon,
recording.
alright.
So we were just looking ahead a bit. Everyone gets some mushroom Peachette.
From the Mario Kart Tour. I still want to pick up Mario Brothers Wii U Deluxe, or whatever they're calling it now. Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe for the Switch. New. Mario Brothers.
That's such a long name that I was like, came away more confused than anything at the end. I think we are getting Ori and the Blind Forest on Switch. I'm pretty sure, right? But they've announced the sequel, Will of the Wisp, that may or may not end up coming to Switch. It's cool that.
Wait, hold on. I think you're misreading that. Microsoft focused on launching Ori's sequel exclusively on One and PC. So the prequel,
Or the original.
the original, I guess you'd say, is that coming out on Switch?
Pretty sure. I bet the article will tell us. Yeah, following the announcement of Ori and the Blind Forest for Nintendo Switch. It's just great to see. And I would rather it be Sony, you know, on a personal level, but it's great to see Nintendo and Microsoft having a relationship. And let's run one more day back to see if we missed anything good over the weekend.
It's a bit of old news covering
Yeah.
the Breath of the Wild amiibo unlocks. Of course, I have not been able to pick up those amiibo yet. I wonder if there'd be any re-release for them.
I feel like they're getting somewhat easier to find.
Best Switch horror games. First thing I see is Revelations 1. That is not a great example of a horror game. There's so much action to Revelations.
Outlast is scary to me. I've never made it very far into
Outlast
it.
is on Switch?
Yep.
Dang.
All right, and that'll I guess that's gonna do it. Go check out the Animal Crossing trailer if you haven't. And no, actually don't, because then you're gonna be sad that it's, like what, 8 months away at this point. Quite
At
a while
least.
anyway. So thanks for checking out episode 0.2 of the Switch Topics podcast. Thanks for filling in for the Bearded Gamer,
No problem.
and we will see you next time.